Bees.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Junior, aka Smoking Guns, out here in Tucson, Arizona, representing the Ultimate Fight Club, giving you the latest content in boxing and MMA news that is out. So, today's video, we got one coming out on Eddie Hearn, and he's talking about a potential Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder fight. And he says in BoxingScene.com that Joshua Wilder does over 1 million pay-per-view buys in America, quote. And in this interview, it states, Eddie Hearn, promoter for IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO, heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua, believes a pay-per-view fight with Deontay Wilder, who holds the WBC belt, would now generate over 1 million pay-per-view buys in the United States. Last year, Hearn made a prediction of less than 500,000 buys, but December's fight between Wilder and Tyson Fury, which ended in a controversial 12-round split draw, generated headlines all over the world. AJ against Wilder last September might have done 300 to 400,000 buys in the United States. Now it does over 1 million. Part of that is down to Wilder, and we give him that respect. Now it's down to what we do over there to amplify that, Hearn said to Boxing News. It also goes on to state later on in the article, Wilder is now on pace to rematch with Fury in the coming months, and Anthony Joshua is set to make his American debut on June 1st in a title defense against unbeaten Jarrell Miller at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Should both champions win, Hearn believes the fight would be even bigger on pay-per-view. I pray that Fury doesn't commit to a rematch, because he doesn't have to in the purse bid. If he does that, he's mad because it will kill the Joshua fight should he win, Hearn said. In that respect, it's better for us if Wilder wins the rematch, especially if Joshua fights Miller in America in June. That starts making the 50 million offer look like peanuts, Hearn said. Hearn also disputes any talk that Joshua has lost his momentum as the top heavyweight in the division. I'm not sure it's momentum lost. We were the standout number one. There was no one even close. Now he's still the standout number one, but there's people kicking at his heels. That's the difference, really. I think there's that element of the man on the street says, Joshua, you don't want to fight Fury or Wilder, but for us, it's not really about one fight. This is about his career and his legacy and what he's going to do, Hearn said. He's had 22 fights. He's going to end up having 30 or 35 fights, so watch to see what happens. If it means taking one interim bout outside of our comfort zone to do something different and to grow Joshua, then we'll do that. The American move will be part of that strategy, which I didn't feel would come now. Quote. Now, with this article coming out with Eddie Hearn stating that Joshua Wilder does over 1 million pay-per-view buys in America, it kind of gets me because Eddie Hearn has been very adamant lately about stating how pay-per-view is dead. But apparently, after reading this article, Eddie Hearn is very much still in the pay-per-view game. And it's kind of weird that he's all talking about how many pay-per-view buys that this fight will generate, especially with him being on DAZN, because pretty much it was stated when he first went to DAZN that all of his fights or matchroom boxing would be exclusive to DAZN. But I think that we all know now, especially over these past few months, that he pretty much stated a lie, especially when he had came out in that interview not too long ago, how he was stating how Anthony Joshua isn't exclusive to DAZN. So with that being said, this fight very well could do a lot of pay-per-view buys, but the thing is, what is Anthony Joshua's star power here in the United States? And pretty much, he doesn't have any star power here in the United States. And that is the main reason why they're trying to get that fight set up with Jarrell Miller, so he can try to make himself a presence out here in the United States. So when that fight does eventually happen, that is going to be a bigger draw. Just for the simple fact is, people out here in the United States will know who Anthony Joshua is. But the thing that gets me is with Anthony Joshua coming to the United States to fight a guy like Jarrell Miller, I do not see how a fight like that will increase his star power, just for the simple fact is, dude, don't nobody really know who Jarrell Miller is. Even when Jarrell Miller does shows, he's usually on the undercards. He's never headlined any show, and every show that he's ever been on has been friggin' crap, really, man. Like, all the shows that he's been on here in the United States, under Matchroom Boxing has literally been shallow ass crowds, man. He's done shows in friggin' Kansas and friggin' Connecticut. I don't know where the hell he's been doing these shows at, but wherever he's been doing these shows, the attendance number for these shows have not been good at all. Even when he was on the undercard in his own home city in Brooklyn, that show did not do good for the attendance. So with Anthony Joshua trying to make a name for himself here in America with a fight like Jarrell Miller, dude, I guess only time is going to be able to tell how that fight is going to do, because especially with it being on the zone, I can literally use one hand to count how many people I know that actually has that DAZN app. I think I know like 2 people that has that DAZN app because they're really hardcore boxing fans. But besides that, I really don't know anybody that has that app. And to tell you the truth, I really don't know anybody like a casual fan that would get that app to watch Anthony Joshua fight. Just for the simple fact is, a lot of people here don't even know who the hell Anthony Joshua is, because Anthony Joshua does not have any star power out here in the United States. Most of that star power, when this fight is made with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, dude, most of the star power is going to be on Deontay Wilder's side. That's why Eddie Hearn is really hoping that this fight with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury does very well, and he's hoping that Deontay Wilder wins, because he's pretty much going to use the star power from Deontay Wilder from this fight to boost up Anthony Joshua. Because if you haven't noticed, these past few months, Anthony Joshua cannot keep Deontay Wilder's name out of his friggin' mouth, even though they already known for these past few months that he's going to be rematching Tyson Fury, but they're still trying to make it seem like Deontay Wilder's making excuses and the fans are making excuses why Deontay Wilder don't want to fight. Dude, we've been wanting to see that fight, but now since Deontay Wilder had that fight with Tyson Fury and it was a controversial draw, I really don't care about seeing Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua right now. I want to see that rematch with Tyson Fury, and then after this fight, then I would like to see the Anthony Joshua fight afterwards. But until then, we're pretty much going to have to wait and see exactly what kind of numbers that Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight does, because I have a very good feeling that that fight is going to do really good numbers. And the main reason I say that is because even the casual person that is out here in the United States with that fight that happened with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, people that did not even know who the hell they were talking about that fight, talking about the highlights of that fight, the replays of that fight, and talking about how they would want to see that fight again. So I think that that Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight is going to do some really good numbers. And to tell you the truth, it seems like Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are probably going to be piggybacking off the success off of that rematch. But like I said, only time is going to tell what happens. But in the next few months, when this fight does happen, we'll definitely see where the numbers are at with that fight. And I guess we can determine exactly what's going to happen with there. Who's going to be the A side, who's going to be the B side. Because if this fight does the type of numbers like I think it's going to do, dude, Anthony Joshua could very well be the B side, just for the simple fact is, if Deontay Wilder is going to be bringing in numbers like that, and then Eddie Hearn is stating he wants to do a pay-per-view fight with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua here in America, well, dude, he's already telling you what the business is, because they are going to be piggybacking off the success of that Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight. And for those that want to talk about Anthony Joshua has all the belts and this and that, it's not going to matter if he's not bringing in those particular numbers that they need for that fight to be a pay-per-view success out here in America. But I hope you guys like the video. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have any kind of questions, any kind of comments, hit me up in the comment section and I'll be sure to hit you guys up. All right. So I hope you like the video. Holla at your boy.